how you are feeling at any moment is giving you a message as to whether you are in expansion mode or whether you are in contraction mode. So recently I got vertigo for the first time in my life. And to be honest, I didn't even think it was a real thing. I thought that if people just went outside in the sun and grounded and put their bare feet on the grass, that it would just disappear. But I learned the hard way that it is actually a real thing. And what I found was that when I was at my most stressed, the vertigo was worse. And so this was really humbling for me because I was like, I never get stressed. I never get stressed anymore. But in fact, when the body was working too much or doing too much or trying to be too much for other people, that's when I got the vertigo. And then what happened was that the next time that a stressful situation played out, the vertigo increased. And so what happened to me when I got back here to Adelaide where I live, we had a personal situation with my relationship, and the vertigo went absolutely nuts. It actually got me spinning, and it was like, oh, I know why I have this. I have this so that it can be a very obvious sign when I'm not in my center, when I'm not centered, when I'm um, not finding my inner peace because I'm scattered and I'm out there and I'm everywhere. And then the other day, I left my key outside. Sorry, I left my key inside and locked myself outside of my apartment. And my partner was very far away, and I had no phone because the phone was left inside. What actually happened was I went and got my shopping in the morning, and I put the shopping on the bench. I was about to put it in the fridge, but I didn't. And then I got my shopping bag and I put the shopping bag outside. And you know when you know something is going to happen, but you're going in slow motion and you don't quite catch yourself? I was walking towards the locked door, and when it's like this, standing up, it's actually open, and when it's like this to the side, it's actually locked. And I saw it like this, and my mind just went, oh, it's open, it's fine. And then I also had another thought, which is, should I just put a shoe just there so that it's definitely unlocked? And I walked right through it without anything stopping it, and it locked behind me. My phone was in there, my keys were in there. So I started knocking on people's apartment doors, and nobody was home. And so there was no way of contacting anybody. And at that moment, my head started spinning. So I just started spinning. My vertigo came back with a force. And of course, that was because I was stressed. So it was such a good indicator that what was happening to me was that I was losing my balance. I was losing my rhythm. Eventually, I got into a neighbour's apartment who I'd never met before. And yeah, quite a funny story that happened after that. But what I'm trying to say is that every single thing that we have, every single physical symptom that you have, is a message that something is not aligned. So it doesn't have to be vertigo like me, but I know now the moment that I'm not in my center, the moment that I am thinking that that I'm judging a situation as being bad, I start getting dizzy. So the moment I breathe, I stop, I breathe, and I find my center, everything comes back to where it's supposed to be. So I really believe that this vertigo is a gift from God that has been given to me to give me a very quick reminder if I'm in my center or not. And so what is it that you've got? I love to hear in the comments below that is giving you an indication that you are misaligned in some way. I mean, something that's very obvious. Many years ago, about how many years ago now? Probably 27, 28 years ago, I had depression. And depression is something that now my clinic is has the absolute expertise of helping people overcome depression, like thousands and thousands of clients. And what depression is that your feelings, your thoughts, and your actions are not aligned. That there's something that you're doing in your life that is not aligned to how you're thinking and how you're feeling. And so it is a gift because it's saying to you, hey, something's wrong. So we need to look at our body like the dashboard of our car, where lights are coming up and giving us messages. So when you're driving along in your car and the oil light comes on and says, oh, there's not enough oil, I don't even know if that's a thing anymore, but just say it's a thing, not enough oil in your oil canister or whatever you want to call it. If we ignore that, it's just going to get worse, right? If we ignore it, it's going to get worse. If all of a sudden we're told that there's not enough petrol or gas, as the Americans say, then if we ignore that, we're going to be stuck without petrol. Same with our body. Same with our body. So James is asking, do you want to know what I get when I'm not centered? Yeah, I'd love to hear, James. I love to know what you get. So same with our body. If we don't listen to the little niggles, the little tiny things that our body is telling us about, then they're going to become bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Every single physical symptom is here to give us a very important message. But as humans, we are so good at the art of distraction, of getting involved in things that are going on in the world. And I know these things are important, but they also keep you off balance. So you need to be centered. So if you're spending a lot of time listening to the news, if you're spending a lot of time getting involved in what's going on in US politics and then really going down those rabbit holes and really feeling distressed about the state of the nation, then your body is going to give you a message. And that message is you need to chill. You need to relax. You need to go back to center. You need to trust that no matter what's going on outside, everything, everything, everything is for everybody's highest good eventually. And so I appreciate these comments that are coming up saying free Palestine on these comments. But even that is keeping you in a state of stress. Even that, where you're going on to somebody else's video that's talking about physical symptoms and you're just saying free Palestine, free Palestine, free Palestine. Can you imagine what your nervous system is doing? Can you imagine what your nervous system is doing if all you're thinking 24/7 is free Palestine? So the work is not going to be starting on the world stage, it's going to start within. The first thing you need to free is yourself. You need to free yourself first. And where in you are you not aligned? Where in you are you not finding peace? Is it in your relationships? Is it in your workplace? Where is it? That's where you need to work on first. Because if you sit there going free Palestine, free Palestine, free Palestine throughout the day, then your nervous system is going to feel that. And then physical symptoms will arise from that. They're bound to, because we're not supposed to be in that state all day. We are supposed to be in a state that is free, that is relaxed. So we can't free Palestine until we free ourselves. First, you need to free yourself. And so, my invitation to you is, what's going on for you in your body? Where are you feeling pain? Where are you feeling headaches? Where are you feeling stress? Where are you feeling like something's not quite right? Have a look at your life. Are your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions aligned? Somewhere they're not aligned. And only when we get back to the truth that everything is happening for a reason and everything is happening for us and not to us, only then we can find the peace within ourselves. And once we find the peace within ourselves, that will be reflected amongst our leaders as well. But at the moment, all our leaders are doing are reflecting what's going on in the collective. If there's chaos in the collective, there's going to be chaos in our leadership. So what we need to do is we need to find the peace within. There's no point running around saying free Palestine when you can't even get on with your neighbour, or or you're bagging people that are online, or you're being rude to people online. There's no point. First, start within. First, start holding your peace, finding compassion for yourself, and then finding compassion for others. So, look at your physical symptoms and know that they are there for you, not against you. Okay, sending you so much love, and I'd love to hear from comments down below as to what's going on with you and what your thoughts are and anything else that you'd like me to speak on. Sending you so much love.